Ladies and gents, good evening. My name is Simon Brown. Kind of doing half of this evening's presentation. I'll give you a quick process how we're going to work. Adishan Naidoo and I are going to do some Q&A around the migration to the Shyft platform. Then we'll take questions from the audience. We've got a couple of hundred people online as well. We'll take questions from them. We'll also do a live demo of the platform, all things being equal, assuming the internet carries on working. No reason why it won't, but we will certainly go grab that as well. And this then turned off on me, which is frustrating. But in the meantime, I'm going to put that on in a second. We'll get some video as well. Adishan Naidoo from Standard Bank. But let's start off. Some of you have seen Adishan. He stands up, he introduces me, then he sits down. Adishan, tell us who you are.
Thanks, Simon. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to those here in person and those online. As Simon mentioned, for those of you who do know me, my name is Adishan Naidoo, and I'm from the Global Markets Retail Investment Team. For those of you who don't, I've been part of the Standard Bank Retail Investment Team for the better part of 10 years, very close to the platforms that you would be familiar with through online share trading, Standard Bank Web Trader, and AutoShare Invest. Along me, in the venue at the moment, we have my colleagues that are scattered. You might see them, some of the senior management as well that have been part of the business for the better part of 3 decades. So I think they were all here. Some of them were here when online share trading started. So this migration and the reason we're here today is a very, very, very special one to all of us in our hearts at the moment.
Thanks, Adishan. We're going to go into a lot of detail. We might seem like we're jumping around, but as I said, we got a lot of time for questions at the end of the process. So if there's still stuff you want to know, and of course you can contact us afterwards. If you get home at 10 o'clock tonight and think, I didn't ask that, don't phone at 10 o'clock tonight, but you get the point, you can help. So I suppose the first question everyone's asking is why the migration? Why the move to the Shyft platform? And maybe preface it with a bit of sort of background to Shyft. I think I first spotted it
2016.
About then. Yeah, okay, about then. Yeah.
So exactly that. And as I mentioned, I'm from the retail investment team. So there's various platforms that are obviously on offer at Standard Bank. Online share trading being the one that most of you are familiar with. AutoShare Invest through the internet banking platform, and Standard Bank Web Trader, the offshore trading platform. Shyft, as Simon mentioned, it's been around for just under a decade. 2016 is when it started. And when Shyft started, it started as a mobile app where it allowed retail clients to buy and sell foreign currency. Over time, Shyft evolved. And as I mentioned, you've got the offshore trading platform in Web Trader. Shyft evolved such a way that it allowed you as a retail investment or retail client to purchase offshore actual equity and actually invest in offshore markets. So you could purchase currency and actually trade offshore. Now, over time, Shyft constantly evolves. And as I said, online share trading is about 30 years old. It then became clear to us that as a future-ready way of working and as a client-led value proposition to our clients, Shyft was identified as the way forward for retail investments, which is where now the migration from online share trading to Shyft will take place.
So the migration really is about feature set, I imagine. And to be clear, online share trading started in 1999. Richard Seddon and an IT chap whose name escapes my head. And I was about client number 150. And because internet, man, my previous broker had internet. What that meant was I could email them. And when they went on leave, no one checked the email, etc., etc. And then, of course, many of you know I worked online share trading 2007 to 2010. I ran the education initiative, both internal and to external. And this really is, I suppose, around, you talked the point, around feature sets, around kind of moving into the new, apps and
100%.
And
so exactly to that point, when you think of online share trading, it's 30 years old, it's a trusted platform. But over time, as things evolve, as technology evolves, it's come a time where Shyft was identified as one that could consistently innovate and bring more to a client. So it not only, as you said, education, it brought more opportunity. So within Shyft, there's a vast array available to a client. But that's not taking away from the fact that OST, being as great as OST is, still gives you this, you'll still have the same functionality. So you'll still be able to enjoy the trading of shares, having the same orders available to you, having the same kind of offer to you, set to you, just within a platform that consistently can change and evolve over time.
We'll get to features in a bit. I suppose the key thing is, let's talk around, you're talking, I can buy offshore, I can get currencies. Which markets, which currencies?
So to those that don't know Shyft has the NASDAQ or the US Stock Exchange, the German Stock Exchange being the DAX, the London, and as we know, we're now launching the JSE. So you have 4 different markets available to you, and that you can basically do shares and ETFs currently in its current day and age.
And that's the key point. There's going to be evolution of Shyft. We'll talk around that in a bit. I think one of the key points, and it's on most people's minds, talk to me about fees. Let's get the fees done and dusted nice and early.
So fees is always one that's mentioned by a lot of clients. So as you know, online share trading fee, I won't delve on it too long, 110 Rand monthly fee, 110 Rand minimum trade fee with a 50 basis points, I think, or half a percent on equities. Now, the beauty of Shyft, it's a 20 Rand minimum. 110 Rand falls away. And at the same time, it's 0.4 or 40 basis points for your equity trade. So your fee has come down quite substantially to allow you to then access more in our local market.
How's this happening? The migration, and how is this happening? Talk us through this part.
So as you know, online share trading, we have quite a few clients, and we have quite a lot in terms of product set and what's on offer at the moment. So at the moment, we're doing migration in various groups. Starting with a very simplistic group being shares and ETFs. So if you've received an email from online share trading or from Shyft recently, you've been identified as part of our simple investor. If you haven't, not to worry about it, we are coming to you soon, and I'll tell you why. So at the moment, we're moving all clients with simple investment needs to Shyft. As I mentioned, it's an innovative platform that is constantly evolving. So right now we have market orders and limit orders, but purely for shares and ETFs. So when you get contacted now, you can opt in for the migration because you've been identified as a client that would benefit from the benefits of Shyft right now. If you haven't been contacted, as I said, as the features evolve within Shyft, you'll be contacted accordingly and moved over accordingly.
And that the next part of the process, I mean, I was chatting to you beforehand, that's not going to be in the next weeks or so, it's going to be next year sometime. This is going to be a process over time.
Correct. So at the moment, we're doing opt-in migration. So if you received it, as I said, you're a simple investor and you received it, you can opt in for this migration. Over time, by next year, there will be come a point where you will be moved over, migrated over to Shyft, but that will be you'll be contacted in advance, as I said, as the features become available, because at some point, online share trading will be sunset.
If I've got that email and I've opted in, what then do I do? I mean, how does that process then operate from then on?
So perfect. So if you've got the email and you don't have Shyft, first step, download Shyft. That's first step, number one. Second step, you'd register. The beauty of registering with Shyft now, it's all mobile. The fact that you can scan yourself, send in your stuff online, it's all done via mobile. Once you've registered and you're actually active on Shyft, we will then be able to tag you, as in automatically tag you, that we notice that you have a Shyft account. You'll then be identified in terms of being ready for migration if you fall part of the group. So if you're a simple set falling part of the group, you'll be identified and you'll be contacted. Thereafter, you just log into Shyft, opt in for the migration, and the rest we'll take care of.
And if I've already got the Shyft app, then I just log in and I say, yes, transfer me, and then we'll migrate me, and then I just log into Shyft and accept the app side.
So if
I've got the online share trading, I'm part of this group of people, but I've already got the Shyft app already.
Correct. So you'll see a notice to say, do you want to migrate? So you'll click on shares, do you want to migrate? And you'll have the opportunity to then elect for the migration. If you have Shyft already, yes, and you're part of this group.
Yes,
if you're not part of this group and you would like to migrate, you can simply contact us, but we'll touch on that a bit later.
Okay, but let's touch on that. So if I haven't been contacted, but I'm like, hey, I want to move, you can, in other words, jump ahead of the queue almost, in the sense, and move earlier rather than later?
You can, but as I mentioned, it depends on the product suite and the features that you're using. So if you've got if you're an online share trading client that has a tax-free investment account at the moment, you won't be you won't be contacted to move. Tax-free investment accounts, derivatives, etc., will come at a specific time later on, and once those features are available, you'll be then contacted to move. So if you choose to move now and you have a tax-free, you can have both. So you can migrate your OST portfolio, but you'll have your tax-free still in online share trading.
So my equity JSC portfolio could move across.
Correct.
My tax-free would remain back at online share trading until that functionality arrives on the
100%, 100%.
Let's get to some of the features around it, some of the sort of the key benefits. As I said, I was early on to Shyft. I liked it for buying dollars. I liked it in the credit card. We used it in Paris. It was really great until my wife got pickpocketed on the metro, because that's what happens in Paris. You get pickpocketed on the metro. Although we blocked the card. Actually, weird fact, the card got home before we did, the new card. Talk to us some of the key features around Shyft, because a lot of folks will know, but a lot of folks will be, hang on, what's this Shyft? Talk key features.
Sure. So As I mentioned, with Shyft, we have it's evolved constantly over time. As you mentioned, it started off as an FX wallet. The beauty is now there's investments. Now imagine, and this is something that all of us at online share trading, at retail investments found very close to us. Imagine a simple sign-on of one-stop shop. You have everything in one place. Imagine where you could access your shares, your trading shares, you click on sell. Those shares, that cash becomes available to you. That cash becomes available to you instantaneously in Shyft. Within that, you can move that cash to your Shyft card and you can transact immediately. The beauty with Shyft is it's not just serving as an investment platform for online share trading to just take you into one space. It serves as a culmination of travel, wallet, FX, investments, payments. It's all there for you at the simple click of a button. The benefit as well is it's mobile friendly. It started off as a mobile app. It's tablet as well as it's on your desktop.
Yeah, we will show some desktop examples in a moment. The travel part is the important point. We've kind of glossed over it a bit as well, but it is that ability to get virtual debit cards, to get physical debit cards, to load it on your phone for tap and all of that at the same time.
Exactly. So and to that point, and I mean I know that everyone on this is about migration, but at the same point, exactly that mentioned, you have the fact that you can move money into cards, both virtually and physically. Those cards come at no cost to you. So we'll obviously we'll give you those cards when you obviously request them on app. That cash can be moved when you sell in your portfolio to your card, to your virtual card, to your wallet, to your vault to earn interest. There's so much available to you. And that's why I say it's constantly evolving. And as more features come on, constantly changes.
Talk to me about support, because at some point someone's going to bump their head somewhere, someone's going to need some help. Talk to me about support within the new Shyft platform.
So the beauty with Shyft, there's 3 support channels. There's the mobile in chat, so mobile bot. There's a WhatsApp as well as the Shyft support. Not to mention and not to forget, as I mentioned, it's a consolidation. So the online share trading team that you're used to contacting, the one that you're used to dealing with, also forms part of that support level. The beauty is now with Shyft, you also have support Monday to Friday, as well as public holidays and weekends.
Okay. I don't do stuff on weekends. Well, I do, but not this sort of stuff.
Short traveling, you don't travel on weekends?
Okay. Actually, that's a fair point. When the Metro people took the card, we were zip.
Yeah, exactly.
Order types, because it's the other thing as well. I mean, way back in the day, Shyft was you bought, but now we can do limit orders, we can do the at market, so we've got that control over. We've also got, I mean, at the moment, so New York's open, Frankfurt is closed, London is, I don't know what they do in London, and then of course JSC's closed, but I can place the orders outside of hours. It'll just queue through.
Correct. It'll queue through. If it's a market order, it'll queue through. It'll activate on market open. It's a limit order, as we all know. Once the limit's hit, it'll obviously trade. The beauty is, as I said, there's those 2 orders available. There's also something called a stop limit, but we'll get into that a bit. We can get into that later on. There's also other orders that will come in time. So as I mentioned, the fact that WebTrader is also going to be migrated into this. So this is one part of a simple migration. The fact that WebTrader, your one-stop shop, Shyft will become your one-stop shop. WebTrader will be migrated into this. There's also other orders that WebTrader has and encapsulates, like algo orders. So there's a whole host of orders that will become available to you.
Okay, that sounds like fun. Type of accounts, and again, we've alluded to this. There's someone out there who's trading index futures or CFDs or something. They're not part of this.
Correct.
Because that is a later feature set that will come.
Correct.
It'll come, but it's not there yet, hence staying on OST for now.
Correct. So as I said, more features become available. You'll be contacted in future groups to obviously be migrated when that obviously the same like-for-like features are available to you. I'm not going to move a client today when I can't offer them what they're doing today.
And that's the key point, perhaps, is that the experience you're having within online share trading, within perhaps WebTrader, you'll have the same but more when you do move across to the Shyft process. It's not going to be a case of, oh, do you really like that? Shame no more.
Exactly, 100%. So it's exactly that. It's a client-led journey. It's a client, and that's why I said right at the beginning, the whole point of Shyft, it was identified as a client-led, value-led proposition that identified client needs with the ability to be agile and innovate as time progressed through technology.
Security?
That's the beauty. I think how many online share trading clients here, just by show of hands, I know there's a couple online. Cool. I think quite a few have asked for 2-factor authentication. There's 2-factor authentication on Shyft. So the security layer that's been pining for, given the fact that there's so much fraud going on, is solved for. The fact that we have, as I said, the ability to sign in via your desktop, but you'll need to obviously identify yourself is something I think has been a pioneer.
I had to authenticate the browser I was using.
Correct.
In particular.
Yes.
And then I used a particular browser because my other ones, well, it's in beta, so I didn't want to. My browser's in beta, so I didn't want to mess around.
Just to show how secure the app may be, and I know this hasn't been a question, but something that's happened to a colleague of mine. If your phone is stolen, you'd have to contact the support and obviously re-authenticate yourself. So the fact that it has two-factor authentication is one angle, but remember that obviously you need to have a mobile phone. I think the client had asked before this presentation started, you'd need to have a mobile phone to download Shyft to initially start up.
Okay, so that's an important point. It starts initially on the mobile, and I mean it's Apple, it's Android.
Correct.
You just go into the App Store, Shyft with a Y, and you're good to go.
Shyft with a Y, correct.
Shyft with a Y. Folks, any questions in the audience here? I can see a couple coming through online. There's one right up front.
Yes, sir. So as I mentioned, you'd use the app simply to authenticate yourself, but we do have a tablet and a browser version.
Yeah.
So
yes.
I think
yes.
it does, yeah.
So it works in Firefox, and these are browsers I've tried it with. Firefox, Chrome, Safari, Brave, Opera. Yeah. The AI agentic ones that are now coming out, which to be clear are bogus. I don't use it in those because those agentic agents are watching my screen while I'm doing stuff. And I don't want some AI dude in New York watching my trading screen. But yeah, so I'm on a beta browser at the moment. It's called Zen browser, and I'm there for reasons that are not important. And I haven't even tried it in that. But in all of the standard browsers that are out there, it was working no problem for me.
Yep.
And then you're home golden.
Just carry on.
100%.
And once you're in, and I'll show you in a minute. I mean, I authenticated myself. Now when I go log in, that browser is authenticated on
Yes.
that computer. So it's straight in. I don't even need my phone because my phone's over there recording video. So the question is, can you essentially receive dollars into the Shyft dollars?
So I'll just loop back, and I think for the purpose of this is buzz migration, but that's a great question. So just to reiterate, the Shyft functionality started as an FX wallet. Okay, as an FX wallet, there's pound, dollar, euro, and Australian dollar. Now that specific currency wallet can receive cash. So to your point, it can receive dollars. So just the same way you would need to fund your online share trading account, you'd need to fund Shyft if you're obviously trading in Shyft, and when you migrate to Shyft, you'd have a unique Shyft reference. So the banking details that are provided to you on Shyft are all static for the different bank accounts. You'll have different references. So for your pound, you'll have a pound reference. For your dollar, you'll have a dollar reference. For your rand, you'll have a rand reference. So if you're obviously using it for trading, for JSE trading, you'd deposit into your rand-based account. You'd use your rand-based reference, and you'd be able to trade. If you're doing it simply from receiving currency, because whether you work abroad, whether you're obviously paying somebody else, you'd be able to provide them with those details and receive currency. And you could obviously move that to a wallet. You could move that to a card. You could use it to shop. You could convert it back. It's entirely up to you.
Couple of questions. I'll come back to the physical audience in a moment. Couple of questions through there. I can use this from overseas.
Yes.
Okay.
I think the whole purpose of Future Ready mobile app and the fact that it's currency, it's about going overseas. Huh?
I don't know if you see. Actually, the rand is getting stronger. We will be able to afford to go overseas again one day. Another question coming through, and we kind of touched on this. I'm trading derivatives. You will be in a later group.
Correct.
In terms of that.
Correct. What I do want to touch on, though, in terms of funding, the lady did mention, and it also touches on derivatives, just to tie it in all nicely. When you're obviously trading and you're obviously adding money to your wallet, and you need to fund and actually purchase a share or purchase, and as you said, derivatives. With derivatives, we know we go into margin call.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go into margin call, you need to get that cash into Shyft or get that cash into your trading platform as quick as possible. Now, the beauty is when you're trading WebTrader, I love it. As I said, I've been part of it. It takes a long time to get cash there. When you're trading Shyft, it can be almost instantaneously. So the beauty is you can also fund from a card. So if you don't bank with Standard Bank and you bank with any one of our banking competitive partners, I'd say partners because we can take their money at the end of the day, you could obviously load a card onto Shyft and pay immediately. Now, that money is then reflected immediately in Rand, and you can then convert it into dollars, fund it into WebTrader, or fund it into your Rand trading account. And if you're going to margin call, Bob's your uncle.
Sure, don't talk to me about margin calls. More questions coming through, and again, this is more about trading, but let's touch on it anyway. Some of the functionality in terms of charts, in terms of filtering and the like, that's going to come in that next set sometime in the year. So the one person's like, I'm just trading derivatives. They will be in a later group to migrate, and they will have what they need to trade their derivatives on the new platform.
Correct. So as more features become available, as we get to the derivative group of clients, we will then obviously have that functionality available to them within Shyft. So the derivative client would be more than catered for. There'd be charting, all the bells and whistles will be there. 100%.
They're not there now. They will be there in time.
At the moment, it's very simplistic. As I said, it's more for a simple investor with shares and ETFs. You've got it all at your fingertips. It's quite simple and easy.
Okay, so two parts to that. In terms of the challenge you're having with the actual app, chat to someone here, speak to support. Yes. But I'm interested in the other point because I hadn't thought of that. I'd log on to my Standard Bank banking app, that big blue app that's got all my bank accounts and all of that in there. And as I scroll down, there's a Shyft tile as well.
Correct. So it's linked within Shyft.
And it'll still be there.
So it should still be, yes.
Okay, so in the new migration, it'll be there because I can actually then as another alternative, notwithstanding you don't want to be on an app, but there is that possibility where I can do it via the bank app.
Correct. That should stand, if I'm not mistaken, for my colleagues around. That should still stand.
Okay. That was different accessibility points to do the same thing. That was fancy. Any more questions from the It was. I mean, I don't speak like that. I'm the one who's on radio all the time. And I don't like any more questions from the audience. Let's jump here first. That's a good question. So when I log on to my online share trading right now, I've got my wife's account, I've got my sister's account, and an account for my niece and nephew. So this little drop down, and I'm doing that.
So in short, no, not yet.
Oh.
In a long answer, yes, it will.
In time. No, but that's fine. I'm not in this group to move.
As I said, I can't take something away from you that you actually use and you have functionality for. So in time, yes. At the moment, no.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So it's not that it will be discontinued. It's just not right.
So the question for the people on the webcast is what are they losing in the migration?
So as I said,
in this group,
you're not losing anything per se, because it's designed as a simple move over. If you, as I said, you're a simple investor, I wouldn't classify it as a trader. Your shares and ETFs. If you're obviously trading in and out, then yes, I could say you're a simple trader using shares and ETFs, which is I would recommend then trying derivatives. But if you're simple and you're just investing in shares and ETFs and following like a method that Simon would, you wouldn't be losing anything per se from an OST point of view. The order types are still there. The settlements, the fact that you'd actually be gaining, because when you sell out, your settlement is immediate. You'd actually be gaining a lot more, because on an OST point of view, I agree that, I mean, we're all creatures of habits. That's human nature. But as a creature of habit, you also have to adapt. And with adapting comes a simpler, easier way to kind of understand it. And when we go to the demo, you'll see the web-based platform is actually simple to understand. It actually takes online share trading and simplifies it. And the fact that you actually, as I say, why you'd be benefiting and gaining is you'd be able to manage not just RAND through OST, you'd be managed to manage your RAND-based account. You'd be able to do offshore trading, so offshore shares, offshore ETFs, all within one place. Versus logging onto OST, doing it there, logging onto WebTrader, logging onto wherever you log onto for offshore, having multiple places to access your account, you'd actually be gaining. If you obviously have certain charting, I mean, I know there's going to be a question probably online. What about my charting? What about my viewpoint? Then yeah, we could obviously look to, as I said, migrate a bit later. But at the moment, you would be losing absolutely nothing. You'd be gaining.
But that person who's using the viewpoint and doing the charting and stuff is not unlikely to be in this group.
Exactly, they're not a simple investor. Correct.
Great question. Someone asked on the webcast, when they migrate to Shyft, they now got a Shyft account. Who closes the OST account? Do they need to close it? Do you close it? Because there's a fee going off.
So the fee would be paused. So the fee would be paused because we wouldn't close it immediately. The fact that there'd be tax statements and monthly statements, would leave it open so you can access that until those reports are then available on Shyft. So the migration would happen. I know this because it's happened on multiple occasions where clients have actually used WebTrader, stopped and went to Shyft and then still funded their WebTrader account. The only thing I'd recommend is once you moved over, transact there, because to move your cash and deposit cash back in OST, hang on, you get what I'm saying.
That's an important point. I move money from Standard Bank, my bank account, into my OST account. I need to shut that down.
Yes, correct.
Noted.
And we no longer actually automatically create that for clients any longer. So I'd say the legacy clients that still have their banking profile, their Standard Bank banking profile, where a beneficiary was created, I would recommend obviously removing that beneficiary.
Gotcha. More questions from the audience here?
No, so the 20 Rand is the minimum for the trade for a share or fee. It's a brokerage fee. So it's 20 Rand minimum or 0.4%.
So question.
40 basis points. So there's no platform fee. There's a monthly administration fee. So your safe custody fee of 12 basis points per annum, which works out to 1 basis point a month, which is capped at 350.
And when he says basis point, that's 0.01%.
Yeah.
Yes. So 0.01% capped at 350. Question came through, am I still going to get Warren Peacock? In other words, because you guys do, well, you do power hours, you do stuff like that. I mean, is those initiatives going to continue? I mean, that's almost platform agnostic.
That's platform agnostic, correct.
Yeah,
that's platform agnostic. As I said, you'll still have access to your OST account to register for these events, to still obviously gain access to these reports, etc. But as I said, the features will all eventually everything will sit within a Shyft environment. So it's I can understand the concept is I'm moving to Shyft, you're taking things, you're not taking it away. It's just going to be added at a later stage.
So a question about the fee, it's 0.12 a year, so it's effectively 0.01. A couple of folks are saying it's 0.1 a month.
No.
0.01 capped at 350. That is important in that regard. 0.1 a month would be, yeah, a little bit
exorbitant.
So then the question, and a couple of questions around tax statements and those sort of things, but also what about historic statements? So, I mean, I've got tax statements going all the way back to, I don't know, day dot. Will they still be available?
I did mention that. So we won't shut down OST. So those statements will still be available to you.
That's why they're there. So I can then get them from that point in that regard as well.
They won't be available from Shyft until, as I said, once online sharing is completely sunset, then all those statements will then move over.
But your statements for your transactions that happen within Shyft are there, and we'll do a live demo in a moment. Those are there. I mean, those are on the platform.
Tax reporting is done within Shyft. So once we've obviously migrated you, you'll have a tax reporting done within the Shyft environment. It's all your prehistoric statements, your statements done prior to your migration will still be available on OST until such time OST sunsets. All those statements will move across as well.
So if you're buying a share in New York, let's say, I don't know, you want to buy a stock. I'm not going to name stocks. You want to buy that. You would convert rands into dollars within the Shyft app, or maybe you've already got dollars there. And again, I'll show you a demo. And then you would buy that share in dollars. So you've already done the transaction into the currency to purchase it. Well, the Swift is happening, but that's happening in the background. I mean, we don't see that at all. I mean, the transaction happens. There's all sorts of stuff happening in the background that we don't practically see. We just see ZAR disappear and reappear as dollar. Yeah. No, I mean, and to be clear, I mean, and it's the one thing, and it's why I got onto Shyft, because I forget where I was going or someone was going. And you know, you go to the airport, or in fact, you go to Rosebank and you see those, and they show you a double on the rand, and it's like, man, I could drive Table Mountain through that and still have space for the Kruger. That's why you use Shyft, because it's called the spread or the double, as you want to call it. It's proper small. It's not, and it's not money laundering. That was a mistake. I edit that out.
I think the lady here has a question.
No.
Oh,
yes. No.
No.
More questions coming through. We've got one or two more online, but in the immediate, let me actually do some demo. Let's show it around.
Yep.
So this is Chrome. I hate Chrome as a browser because of child's memory, but it works. I'm already registered. I log in so it knows who I am. So it says, hello there, Simon. I've already authenticated. That's why it just someone knows exactly who I am. There's my password. Notwithstanding it knows it's Simon, it says, yeah, dude, like prove who you are first, right? So password. And it worked. Boom. So immediately that's the screen I get when I landed. Now this is just the sort of home screen. It's just showing me indicative rates. Look, the rand 17.18. We've got dollars, euros, sterling, and US dollars, Oz dollars, and US dollars. Mm-hmm. It knows who I am. It's sending me whole bunches. I'm going to go straight down to shares.
Yes.
And I have a dollar portfolio here. So I've actually got a couple of shares. Don't look at the bottom one, because that one's losing me money. Let's just look at those. And maybe we should zoom that little thingy out so that it looks like I'm a little bit. There we go. Oh, that look. Well, okay, that doesn't.
Still doesn't look too great, but it's fine.
Dude, don't diss my portfolio. So this is just a bog standard portfolio you've seen. I've got ASMO. It tells me what the value is, tells me what the change, the daily move, and then I can go and get more details. This is a very sort of simple portfolio view that I'm looking at. I can then go into more detail, and then it tells me, boom, now I'm on a trade screen. It looks a little bit different to the OST trade screen, but short answer, it's got the same sort of stuff. Tells me my market is open.
Chart.
Do I want to buy or do I want to sell? It's got a chart there. It's a rudimentary chart, but it's telling me what it's done.
OST is the same. That small block.
It's an OST screen. And then I can do.
Sorry?
Yeah.
I like the
So I
feedback.
can do one of two things. I can do an at market order, which is trade price agnostic, or I can do a limit order, which says trade within certain prices. Again, same as what we have in the online share trading environment. Here is something I do like, is it says to me, I can select how many shares I want to buy, or I can select
A value.
a value. Fractional shares. Talk to me about fractional shares.
So once again, when the feature is available, we'll bring it on. It is some, but actually that's right at the top of the, it's right at the top of the list. Correct. So fractionals right at the top of the list. I just want to make everyone notice note here. Fractionals will be more on the offshore side. And will be offshore and local. So at some point, fractionals across the board will be available as a feature set.
Okay, and then here I can go and say, so I want to buy some, it's a market order. I've put my value in, tells me what my fees are. Now, in this case, I'm not getting many shares because what am I looking at? Is this still ASML? Yeah, there's not a lot of space there. ASML's a, $700. No, that's where I bought it. It's now even more. It's 1,000. Anyway, so and then I would trade, and it tells me what my balance is. Again, I accept the T's and C's, and I go. I can top up, so I can say, well, I've got some ZAR. Let's move some ZAR into my dollars, so that I've got a little more dollars, so I can buy a little more shares in that regard. Again, it tells me what my fees are. The buffer is just in case there's some slippage. So because I've gone a market order, if I'm going to do a limit order, then I get fancy, and I'm going to say that I don't want to pay more than, so that's obviously the last trade price, $1,058.54. That's why I could only buy one. And how long is it good for? Gives me some options, 30 days, I can specify custom. So that's an add-on feature, which an OST, you've got good for today, good for 30 days. That gives me a little more flexibility in that regard. So I can have my own. So ASML is $1,058. I'm like, you know what? I'll buy the stock at $800, so I can put a buy-in for 800. And then it just sits and waits until either it's expired, or I cancel it, or $800 is reached, whichever happens. And if none happen, we just carry on waiting in that regard. Again, telling me exactly what the fees are, exactly what the costs will be in each regard there. Let's go and find the share. Let's check. Yeah, so last trades, bids and offer, that sort of detail.
Yeah, so that spread, the spread price, etc. So what you used to in OST, as I said, it's very simplistic at the moment. So it's going to show you just the last trade. It'll obviously give it at that point of view. The graph will show you last trade, but unfortunately, there's no bid and offer spread at the moment.
Okay.
So bid and offer spread. Yeah. So bid and offer spread is one thing. Yes, as I said, at the moment, but it is coming. It is coming. I would say within the first 6 months of next year. As I say, no, but I'd say 6 months completely, no issues, no hacks, but within the next 3 months of next year, definitely. First, I'd say by March next year.
There's my 4 accounts: USD, Euro, Sterling, and ZAR. I do have some Euros. I don't have Sterling because, well, Sterling. And I don't have anything. My ZAR all sits within the online share trading. But there it is. So then I can go down here. I can say browse shares.
Is your internet?
No, my internet's still working.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, and let's search for, let's search for Anglo Gold Ashanti, because, man, gold stocks had an afternoon. Of course, I got to learn how to spell first. Anglo and Anglo American, Anglo Gold Ashanti. Boom, and there I found that particular stock. So the stocks are there, the ETFs are available as well. As I said, I don't have anything in this portfolio. It also tells me market is closed. JC is not happening at this point in time. Obviously, if I place an order now, it'll get into the market tomorrow morning ahead of that 9 o'clock opening. Questions, anything that you want to see from here?
One of the beauty side, I think, question I had as well. You don't have to put your password in every time you place a trade, unlike OST. OST is password at the bottom, confirmation of password.
Okay, here's my question. Okay, so I don't have to put a password. When I trade an OST, box pops up. It says, am I sure?
Yeah.
I'm never sure.
I don't think anyone is.
Yeah, I do trade, but I'm never sure because, of course, I mean, let's not be naive. I mean, like, you know, we're hoping on the future. Now, good question. So this is, can we buy unit trusts and funds and the like? This is just going to be shares and ETFs and later derivatives.
Correct. So shares, ETFs, later on more products, more features. So as I said, the reason why it was identified is there's an opportunity to innovate, but it's just as more features become available, those features will be unlocked. So there are funds on WebTrader, there are ETFs, there are derivatives, but as we get closer to those migration points and those groups, those features will be unlocked in Shyft.
Yeah, we also
so for now it's just shares ETFs.
Yeah, I mean, we're also seeing a lot of active ETFs, AMCs, actively managed certificates, which are funds, but not necessarily what you're looking at. So I mean, what you've got with your Morningstar at this point, unfortunately. Let me see if there are any more questions coming through. Yeah. Stop losses, in other words, conditional orders. Talk to me about stop losses, Adishan.
So I honestly feel like, unfortunately, as I said, I know there's a lot of order types, but that is also part of the process. So that's why the clients that I identified now are simple ETFs, simple shares. Those kind of orders obviously are a little bit more complex. So as you need more complex orders, more complex charting, etc., those features will be unlocked. So it will be coming, but yeah, not at the moment.
Yeah. I don't want to browse shares.
It will come. It's not that we're taking it away. So for a simple investor, I can understand. For a complex investor, for a simple investor, if you're just buying and holding over long term, I mean, something, Simon, you've mentioned in many power hours, where buy and hold, Warren Buffett buys today, looks at it 5 years from now. If you're a simple investor, I can understand you need a stop loss, but unless you plan on selling that share in 2 years from now, or that share is going to zero, if you're investing in something that's
What if you buy that's going to zero?
That's what I'm asking. So that's what I'm saying. So if you're buying something that's going to zero, I can understand the stop loss. If you're a simple investor, or Steinhoff is a good example. If you're a simple investor and you're buying a stock and you're planning on holding it for 5 years, stop losses, limit orders, those kind of things, stop limits, etc. Those kind of things will be available to you at a later stage. As I said, this is a simple investor that's looking at his portfolio, probably buying once in 2 months, once a year, maybe once a month, maybe once a week, but buying and building a position and obviously leaving it over long term.
So that feature is prioritized quite highly on the iPad and will be coming short. So yes, we are bringing it in soon, but the reason why we're doing this in a phased approach, we're identifying those clients who don't currently use that functionality. Those are the clients we are approaching. If you have stop losses on your account, you shouldn't have received an opt-in email at this point. You will do so when we implement stop losses.
I think I did mention that at the beginning, where if you haven't received the mailer now, it's not that you're not part of the migration, it's just that the features that you'd use on OST is just not available to you yet. So we wouldn't move you unless we can obviously cater for you.
I think what I want to understand is the idea that Shyft becomes like a trading platform, not just an investment platform, or both rather. It's not right now that
Correct.
It's able to have all that functionality.
So correct. So
you can still do your trading on the online trading platform in that capacity. So if you want
correct.
your stop loss orders, if you want, that's still available to you.
Correct.
But the idea is still to have Shyft, once everything has been migrated, to be like trading. You will still be able to have all your functionality to trade if you want to be a trader,
so
not just an investor.
So the beauty of that, and that's exactly to that point, with once all the features and everything is available within Shyft, you'll be able to have an investment portfolio and you'll be able to launch a trader portfolio. You'll be able to have both that can run concurrently within the Shyft environment.
Can I show you my top 3 feature? Dark mode. Come on, dark mode. Yo, really? Yo, tough crowd. And there's obviously documentation, questions coming through, tax certificates, account confirmations, personal documents, visa letters, if you're allowed to travel, if you can afford to travel. Yeah, those are there.
Yep.
Where do my contract notes at Adishan?
Should sell under your shares.
There's contract notes as well are available. Okay, I can't find them.
Click
at
on
this
account.
point. Awkward.
I think it's under account.
Under account.
I think it might be under account.
Personal, physical, income, banking details, tax, trading limits. No. It is somewhere because I know I've downloaded it because I did a demo for you earlier, which I did download. So they are there as well. They might go. So orders will be your existing orders. I don't have any orders in the market at this point. Although we are on my dollar account, I don't have any orders sitting there at that point. Any more questions on the floor here? There's certainly a few more coming through online. Will I lose historical? No, we've touched on the historical.
Yep.
Can minors have it? Under 18s?
Not currently.
No.
Not currently.
Okay, not currently. Can companies register?
Also, waste of time.
Okay.
So, as I said, at some point, if we're sunsetting OST, just to put it into context, we're sunsetting OST. We've got trust accounts on online share trading, company accounts on online share trading, minor accounts, tax-free. At some point, all of that will become available. So I can understand the worry is now, it's like, you're migrating me this platform. 100%, as I said, the team that's around you, we've been part of this business for, as I said, some 30 years, some 10, some 20. In order to migrate all our clients, we'll have to bring all the features accordingly. So at the moment, simple, you're identified in group 1 or group 2. By the time we get to group 10, when company accounts are available, minor accounts are available, trust accounts are available, then obviously all will be moved accordingly.
Yeah, and it's part of that process. I mean, as Adishan said, the first people who are moving are those who, they've got some shares, some ETFs, log in occasionally. The fancy features will come in time, and then we will be moved. A lot of folks are saying, what about my CFDs and the like? Those aren't there yet, so you're not being moved at this point in time.
Correct.
There is a question, someone says, can I open a Shyft account in the meantime?
Yes,
sure.
100%. You can open a Shyft account. You can even buy shares at the moment. If you want to migrate part of your portfolio, so you want to, as I said, opt in for the migration, move your shares across only, and run your shares in Shyft just to obviously enjoy the benefits, actually get comfortable with the platform, you're more than welcome to. But as I said, as it consistently evolves, as it consistently innovates, so will more features, so will more product suites, so will more accounts, different accounts all become available.
And it is, I mean, it's changed. I mean, to be honest, I mean, I've been in this online share trading platform 20 odd years.
Close to 30.
Close to 30. I'm not there. But I mean, I can tell you that there are 4 different ways to get to a PE number on that platform, and I know all 4 of them. Partly because I designed 2 of them. And then it's like, you know, change is awkward, but and change happens as long as it gives me more and doesn't steal my things. Any more questions? Because we've answered on the group. There are a few more, but we've taken those. Folks, there are bunches of Standard Bank staff. Someone thought I was pointing for food, not food. I was pointing at you. There's bunches of Standard Bank staff there. There's Adishan here. We'll certainly be taking more questions if you have. The video has been recorded. That will be uploaded. If you've got questions, ask. And if you don't think of it now and you've got a question at a later point, contact the support folks.
100%.
It is going to be a process, but it is making it as smooth as possible. But ultimately, it is about giving us a better experience. And I appreciate change is sometimes awkward, but we will come out at the better side. Adishan, closing words?
No, I can't echo that sentiment any more than that. I mean, change is something that's inevitable over time. And we all, sometimes, as I said, we're creatures of habit. That's human nature. But the change comes as a benefit to you as a client. It comes to our commitment and promise to give our clients the best. I mean, at the end of the day, if you can access everything, as I mentioned, and I don't want to come across as a sales pitch, but it's more along the lines of a one-stop shop where you can manage your money and obviously manage your wealth with complete access all on your own. You can see your investments, you can travel, you can move money across, you can move money abroad. I mean, at the moment, OST is beautiful. And I mean, as I said, I've been in it 10 years, but at the moment, it's a trading platform. It's as simple as it is. If I want my money, I got to move it to my bank account.
No, that's a fair point.
I can't wait for
this.
this.
And that's why I've been doing. I mean, I've got an offshore investment platform where I've got long-term holdings, and then I've got to move money into it, and then move money here, etc. And that is what I'm looking forward to. That it becomes one place for my investments, my FX, my cards, and 100%. It becomes one home. At the moment, well, not so much now, but in the olden days, and I'm old enough to remember traveler's checks. Yeah, I've got bits here, bits there, and it's just, I mean, it works, but it's clunky. Ladies and gents, thank you everyone for your time. I hope you'll have a great evening further. Appreciate coming through, appreciate the questions. We wanted lots of questions. We got lots of questions. Adishan, thank you very much.
Thanks, sir.
Ladies and gents, thank you all very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you.